Like fighting, I was always terrified. Fighting also, I felt disrespected my entire career because, again, this is the ego thing, and it's a good and bad thing. It depends how you want to play it. I fought LeVar Johnson. It was a boring fight. I sunk in like 4 anaconda chokes on him, but he was so jacked to the gills on steroids, it just would not close. He should have won Mr. Olympia.
And Brandon holding on to a guillotine choke here, trying to lock it in. He may have it. He's tightening his arms up, trying to finish the fight early. It's tough to see the position. Oh, look at this. Shots though. LeVar Johnson is punching
Schaub's got to be careful, Joe.
while he's choking. This is crazy. He's got it though. This is tight, and he's trying to tie that arm up.
He actually ended up testing positive after that fight, which I told everyone on this weighing stage. He was taking stuff anyways. So I beat him, boring fight. I take a lot of flack for it.
Brendan, the hybrid Schaub.
Yeah, so the Mitrione fight, the reason why this fight's so big, and I don't talk about it a lot, but my entire contract was based off this fight. If I lose that fight, I'm screwed. All my sponsorships were based off that fight. I was in negotiations with the UFC for a new contract. I think I was ranked 13 in the world at the time, maybe 12. I forget what Matt was, but there was just this heavy pressure on me from that fight. I do Metamoris, which, you know, take flack, but also went to decision against the #1 grappler in the world. The reason I did that was to prepare for Matt Mitrione.
So, of course, Schaub expected this, because this is Cyborg's game. He sits down.
And Schaub has the MMA thing where get up. You know, you want to strike and kick. But he's thinking, well, maybe I ought to go down, you know?
Your winner, Cyborg. Hey, Matt Mitrione, you got my attention now, brother. It's on.
I get to Matt, contracts on the line, a lot of pressure.
You ready, sir? You ready, sir? Let's go, fight.
Here we go. Matt Mitrione, the southpaw in the black trunks, and Brendan Schaub in the green trunks. Matt Mitrione said, we ain't touching gloves. Brendan put his hands up. Matt said, nope. Mitrione trying to cut him off. Schaub pushes forward with a big combination. Combination by Schaub. Mitrione able to cover those shots. And there's the takedown attempt. He's got his hands clasped together. Boom! And he's got him down. Nicely done by Brendan Schaub.
So when I took Matt down, I was trying to bait him into the underhook. I knew, the grappling, especially at that level, there's a lot of tricks, man. If you're not grappling, I was grappling at a very high level at the time. Henry Gracie, Huron Gracie, Crone, Buchecha, I'm rolling with all these guys daily, nonstop. So when you get in the UFC and you're going against guys like Matt Mitrione, who he's a phenomenal athlete, phenomenal fighter, but on the ground, there's a lot of traps. And I set a trap, and when he went for that pummel, I thought, oh my God, we got it, man.
Looking for a choke here. He's got it. He's got it. He's got a deep Dars here, Mike. That is tight. He's out.
Hit is all over.
Outstanding.
Brendan Schaub.
Outstanding job by Brendan Schaub. And that is what we said, that if this fight went to the ground, that Brendan Schaub would have an advantage, is his submission ability.
I was so happy. That or the Gonzaga fight was the happiest I've ever been. By far the happiest, because I knew I was getting a new contract, you get back on this win streak, like life is good, man.
All right, here we go. You ready? You ready? Here we go.
Talking about one of the boringest fights in UFC history.
Arlovsky just hanging on here. Very little work here.
Don't just rest. Let's go. Work. Here we go.
This is very difficult to figure out who's winning this fight because there's been so little action. Yeah. Schaub's only been taken down twice.
Oh, good right hand by Schaub and a good left as well.
Winner by split decision, Andre the Pitbull Arlovsky.
Andre Arlovsky by split decision in his return to the UFC.
Listen, the fans lost in that fight. That was a boring fight. The problem with that is you gotta have dance partners, and me and Arlovsky were training partners before. We knew what we were capable of, so we were both very hesitant on the trigger. Definitely won that fight though, but good. I love Arlovsky, man. I mean, I think I still won the fight. I probably would take him down earlier. It's tough to take down, but I probably would take him down early in the first round. I took him down in the third. I felt like I could have done that early on, but who cares? Who cares?
In the heavyweight division, Brendan Big Brown Schaub, Travis Papa Brown.
The Travis Brown fight was, you know, I have that Arlovsky fight where I lose in decision. But I guess they looked at it like a win because then they give me the number 3 ranked guy in the world. I think I'm 13 at the time. And big fight, man. I beat him. I'm right in line there. Number 3, then we're off to, you got to give me 2 or 1 after this. So I viewed it like that. Terrible matchup for me. Rough matchup for me, but I just figured I have to pull this off somehow, some way. Brought in the best training partners I could. I remember being in the back. My coach was just like, "What's wrong with you, man?" And I looked at him and went, "I just don't want to do this. I don't want to do it anymore." And like, "What? All the training?" I went, I don't know what to tell you. And I apologized to him before he went out. I went, I just don't feel like doing this. I can't get up for it. I could not get up for the fight. I literally did not care, man. I just didn't care. I don't know. It's weird, like that fire, there's nothing you can do. Once that leaves, you are so screwed. Once that leaves, you're so screwed. You know, Travis is fighting for something much more than just a win. He's fighting for a lot of things, man. Changed camps, his girl, like there's a lot of drama between that. My hat's off to him, man. He did a great job. You know, he's a monster, especially at the time. You know, Travis should have been a world champ. You know, we look at his career now, and he's hit a slump, but you know, he was so damn good when he was in his prime, man. So good. That was a tough fight, very tough fight for me. Like fighting, I was always terrified, and then fighting also, I felt disrespected my entire UFC career because, again, this is the ego thing. It's a good and bad thing. It depends how you want to play it. I always felt like I should have been the main event. I always felt like it was the main event in every fight. Like, why aren't I getting the shine?
Papa in the gray trunks, Big Brown in the black trunks. Both men have big-time one-shot knockout power.
Travis is 3 inches taller. This is the first time Brendan's ever fought anybody that big, and you can tell he's having a hard time closing the distance. He's used to being a big guy. Very difficult to prepare for a guy as big as Travis Brown. Oh, big uppercut! Brendan's hurt!
Brown trying to go for a finish here.
I mean, Brendan has to be hurt pretty badly to let this guy mount him like this.
Yeah, you can see right here, Joe.
This is terrible for Brendan Schaub. This could be it.
10. Hit, it's all over!
Wow.
Travis Brown!
Thank God they stopped that fight. Thank God they stopped that fight the way they did. And it was like early stoppage. I'm like, I know, crazy, right? Thank God. Because, you know, it could have got ugly. You know, he lands one of those kicks, those left hands, more brain trauma, who knows? Thank God he stopped that fight. You know, Joe Rogan we do that infamous kind of podcast together. None of that was designed, none of that was planned, and that wasn't on JRE. That was actually on The Fire and the Kid. I remember, you know, one of the reasons why the podcast kind of got its following that it did is because I took everyone on this journey with me. I talked about how scared I was, the training, the ups and downs, and everyone came into this fight with me. And we lost and we won together, and that's why I have this loyal fan base, and it's amazing. But you know, it's tough to be a Brendan Schaub fan sometimes. So I think with that fight, everyone felt for me, and I felt like when when Joe did that, I had no idea. I remember I told Brian goes, what do you want to do? I go, I want to do a podcast. He goes, why? I went, I got to let people know how I'm feeling, man. I think we owe it to them. And we were driving to the studio. Brian goes, Rogan wants to do it with us. I went, really? People don't realize how close Rogan and I are, really close friends. And I went, cool, man. I went, but I want to make sure that it's not like, I don't want to talk about the fight and what I did wrong technique-wise and stuff like that. Brian goes, no, we're not going to do any of that. We're just, fighting the kid, do our thing.
I was worried about you coming into this fight. I can tell you that right now. I was worried because I think Travis Brown's one of the most dangerous guys in the division. It's hard watching that. It's very hard calling your fights, man. It's hard calling your fights because I care about you. I've had a few friends that have fought before. It's tough. It's tough. If you had a wrestling match with Cain Velasquez, how well do you think you'd do?
Straight up wrestling?
Yeah.
I think people would be surprised.
Really? Mm-hmm. You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I think you'd be surprised.
Mm.
I really do. I think he'd fuck you up. And I say that as a friend and a guy who loves you.
From a selfish point of view on my side, because I love you, I can't speak to the fighting. I just want to make sure my boy's healthy at 40 and a millionaire or whatever he is, or just happy doing something else and has made that transition, because the transition's coming.
I don't like saying this, man. I would rather say, hey, man, better luck next time. Hey, I love you. I'm in your corner no matter what. And that is a true thing.
Joe Rogan, thank you for coming on the
This is a bummer way to end it, man.
Terrible. Worst podcast we've ever done for me.
Yeah, but an important one, Brennan. It's important because it doesn't mean you're going to quit.
I don't know if we should have recorded this. You know what I'm saying?
But you wanted to do it. You wanted to do it. You said before the podcast you wanted to do it and you wanted to air it live. You told me that.
This is true. Yeah, I know.
Did you think we weren't going to be honest about our concerns?
No.
What I worry about with you is all coming from love. All of it. What I said to you, the brutal honesty of it, is all coming from love. And I'm sure there's people, I knew it when I was about to say it. I was like, here we go. I'm sure there's people listening to this right now like, you shouldn't have said this on the air. You have to. There's no other way.
It was one of the best things that ever happened to me. But the competitor in me, the fighter in me, went, oh, I'm going to prove Joe wrong. I'm going to prove Joe wrong. I'm cut to 205. I hired this nutritionist. I actually got down to 220. I'm lean. Everything's good. And I remember waking up one morning and just go, what the hell are you doing, man? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And there was like all these signs, whether you believe in God, a higher being, or what, there's all these signs that are like, over here, you moron. Quit fighting. You're made for entertainment. Quit fighting. My heroes growing up were Jim Carrey, Adam Sandler. Not athletes, not fighters. Those were my guys. I've always wanted to be a comic. I've always wanted to be entertainment. There just weren't a lot of outlets, and I was gifted with brown skin and fast twitch muscle. That's what it is. So I remember there's all these signs, and I remember just questioning myself, like, what are you doing, man? Like, you don't want to fight at 205 and cut this weight and still fight. Remember I wish you could bottle up those feelings that you had in the locker room when you fought Travis Brown. And a check came in the mail. I'm never motivated by money, but this is just a sign. A check came in the mail for my advertisement for my podcast. And that check was more than I got paid to fight Travis Brown. More. The same day when I was like, what are you doing, man? I'm like, God, give me a sign here, man. I'm not a religious dude. I'm really not. I believe in a higher being, but I don't go to church. I don't do any of that, man. Before a fight, before a show, you bet your ass I'm praying to somebody. If there's someone up there, I want to make sure I get my vote in. So I remember a check came in, and I thought it was just such a weird timing that literally that morning I go, what the hell? I'm killing myself trying to make 205, come up with a game plan, who I'm going to fight, come up with this marketing. I get this check in the mail, and it's clear as day. Over here, you moron. And then I started doing that. Like fighting, I was always terrified. And then fighting also, I felt disrespected my entire UFC career because, again, this is the ego thing. It's a good and bad thing. It depends how you want to play it. I always felt like I should have been the main event. I always felt like I was the main event in every fight. Like, why aren't I getting the shine? Why don't I have this? Why don't I have this sponsor? Why am I not featured on the countdown? What are we doing here? And so I always felt super disrespected. Now with comedy, I'm the main event. I'm the main event. I've always wanted this, and the love I have from the fans, and every show we've booked, and I've never had a show not sell out. Super fortunate. Every show I've ever done has sold out. They're buying a ticket just to see me, man. When you go to UFC, you're buying to see the card typically, and it makes me speechless, man. It's like the love and affection I've always been looking for, always my entire life. Now I have it. It's crazy. I just don't want to mess it up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Monday after.
It's not Monday.
I meant it's.
And start with a little excitement.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
Good God, man.
It is.
We haven't been here forever.
Well, that's why I'm a little tired.
Good God.
You're tired? What time is it? I woke up at 5 a.m.
Me too, man.
Tell the story about Kimbo Slice.
Kimbo Slice and Marcus Jones and this D'Amico Rogers comes in my room and they go, "Yo, Schaub, get up, dog. Get up, man." I'm like, "Huh? Why is there 3 large black guys around my bed?" Kim goes, "Yo, man, this dude's down there talking about our people. We're about to jack him up." I thought I was in the gym. I go, "Excuse me? He's talking about our people, dog. Let's go F this dude up." I'm like, "Listen, you guys realize," I said, "I'm not down with the race thing, but you realize I'm not black, right?" Kim goes, "You ain't black?" I go, "No, man." He goes, "Damn, that's crazy." Turn around, leave, and I hear, "That's why I like Schaub. You can't tell what the hell he is." I keep going. And then It's tough, man, because I wouldn't let my kid fight. I would not let my kid fight. It's too tough of a life. It's interesting because in my fight career and my comedy, they have similar parallels where I was thrown into the deep end. My first set ever was at the Comedy Store. It was at the Comedy Store, and you got Chris D'Elia, Joe Rogan, Joey Diaz, and Brian Callen in the front row watching my set. So, that's like fighting Roy Nelson as your first main event. It's sink or swim. I decided to swim in that one. I sank in the Roy Nelson fight. So they're very different, man. Comedy's just a different animal. For me, I almost have to work extra hard because I'm the fighter. Okay, it's that shtick. You're doing that. So for me, I feel like I have to be almost extra funny. I feel there's pressure. There's a lot of pressure. Like when I go to the Comedy Store, that's not my fan base. The other day I was sandwiched between Joe Rogan and Dane Cook, and then after that, Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock went on before me. So it's like I'm swimming with the sharks, man. Getting laughs. Trust me, the Comedy Store doesn't care about the Brendan Schaub fan base or the Brendan Schaub business. They do not care. If you don't get laughs, there's no way you're getting up there. So I know if I'm getting laughs there, when I go on the road, things are gonna be okay. That's the training camp, to say the least. If you can get laughs at the Comedy Store or at the Improv or any of that in LA, the expectations are so high, man. And I never get more nervous than performing at the Comedy Store. It's a special place, man. It's literally like Madison Square Garden for as far as comics go. Like Madison Square Garden, if you're a boxer or a fighter, that's where you want to fight. The Comedy Store is where you want to perform. And I live like 4 miles from it. And how about before I was performing there, I bought a ticket to watch Dane Cook there. And then I'm doing stand-up, and he's bringing me on to do stand-up. It's nuts, man. God, that's a loaded question, brother. As far as see change, as far as fighters' rights, I know we talk about it till we're blue in the face, and everyone wants to complain about it. And before I say this, let me say that it's not Dana's job. It's not the UFC job to fight for the fighters' rights. It's the fighters. Anyone in Dana White's shoes, he's not going to go, "Oh, yeah, I'll make sure you guys are covered and I get paid less money." He owns a business. He's a business owner. It's up to you guys to get your things together. It's like wrangling cats. Right now, as far as fighters' rights, the union, the association, we're the football players in leather helmets. We just are. And with WME, IMG buying the UFC, I think it even gets stepped back a little because they're just trying to figure out how to promote a fight. They're trying to figure out who's a star. They can't even tell people's stories right now. Like a lot of people aren't getting a lot of shine. So this whole, they got a lot of fighters to put out. You think they're worried about fighters' pay and fighters' rights? So I don't know the answer for it. I've had a lot of people ask me to help them and kind of be the voice of it. I don't know if I'm the guy for the job. I'm so busy. I don't see a clear-cut plan. I met with the Fighters Association. That wasn't the plan. I met with the guys, with the union. So I don't know if that's the plan. I just haven't seen a good plan. It comes down, if you want to change, the fighters are going to have to do it. There's no lawyer out there. There's no agent. There's no manager. The fighters are going to have to do it. The issue is you have the Connors, the Rondas, the Brock Lesnars, the John Jones who are making the money go, I don't see a problem here. We need everyone to go, we're not doing anything until we get this. Are you going to get that? I don't know, man. I don't know. Good luck. It's tough, man, because I wouldn't let my kid fight. I would not let my kid fight. It's too tough of a life. It's too tough of a life. I work too hard to make, a good living where he's gonna want to get into that life, Fighters don't live in satin sheets. They have other options. And I don't know. I watch fighting, and the only thing that gets him to stop doing anything, he's 17 months old, is fighting. It's like in his blood, which is weird. It's not in my blood. I mean, I was a fighter, but I don't know. I love jiu-jitsu. I love fighting. I love watching it. Am I a martial artist? I would say no. I would say no. I'm still an athlete through and through, but I'm not a martial artist. I mean, I've a high-level jiu-jitsu belt. I love jiu-jitsu. I don't know. I wouldn't call myself a martial artist, man. That's kind of weird to say. I've never said that before, but I wouldn't call myself a martial artist, no.